After setting up the equipment, he finally saw the true face of that thing. It looked like a giant centipede, its countless limbs allowing it to move extremely fast, turning into a ball of white light when it landed. But when it stood up, Mark was surprised to find that it was a person, just with a kind of inhuman wisdom in its eyes. This was all beyond Mark's expectations, and the Delta Force escorting him paid a heavy price for it. The soldiers who escaped from the building suffered heavy casualties under the pursuit of the ghosts. The commander, in order to cover the retreat, picked up a rocket launcher to annihilate the ghosts with heavy firepower, but the ghost passed through the smoke and pounced at an extremely fast speed, killing the commander on the spot. The survivors fled to a nearby factory to hide, but the goggles were already damaged, and even if the ghosts were nearby, they could not be detected. Fortunately, Mark brought a hyperspectral camera. After setting it up, they saw through the monitor that the ghosts had already caught up, but seemed to be blocked by a circle of black gauze. After observing, Mark found that the black gauze was actually a defensive system that someone had deliberately set up around the building. They searched the factory and found two siblings. The girl said that it was iron filings set up by her father, but her father was killed by ghosts while out foraging. Although the clue was interrupted, they learned that iron filings were the weakness of the ghosts. At Mark's suggestion, the soldiers assembled grenades with iron filings. Mark also modified the hyperspectral camera into a searchlight so that the soldiers could see the ghosts. The battle was imminent, and the soldiers took the initiative to attack. The grenades hit the ghosts, instantly immobilizing them, but the ghosts quickly broke free and pounced at an even faster speed. The special forces, now reduced by half, were struggling to resist and quickly suffered casualties. Even worse, the hyperspectral camera malfunctioned at this moment, and they became completely blind. Just as despair was looming, the main reinforcement troops arrived, but there were more ghosts gathered in the nearby buildings. The tanks launched an attack, reducing the buildings to rubble, but found that thermal weapons were ineffective against the ghosts. The ghosts rose in swarms and launched an attack. Humans were powerless against them, and even tanks were instantly destroyed. It was a completely one-sided massacre. At the critical moment, the rescue helicopter arrived. Mark immediately smashed all the grenades filled with iron filings to the ground. With the wind from the helicopter, the iron filings flew towards the ghosts, blocking their attack, and everyone was able to escape back to the base. But they needed more information about the ghosts. The little girl revealed that her father had been making ceramic containers for the Masarovi power station, and the ghosts came from the nuclear power plant there. Mark told everyone that in addition to the three natural states of solid, liquid, and gas, there was also an artificial state called the Bose-Einstein condensate. It had some abnormal properties, could easily pass through walls, and its ultra-low temperature could cause instant death upon touch, but it could not penetrate magnetized tank armor. Generating this condensate required a lot of energy, and the Masarovi nuclear power plant fully met the conditions. And plasma discharge guns could disintegrate this unnatural condensate. With a countermeasure in place, Mark had people gather all available equipment and quickly assembled the first plasma discharge gun. With everything ready, the main force took helicopters to the nuclear power plant. The first squad was the first to land on the platform below, advancing under the cover of robotic dogs. Now, the moment of counterattack had arrived.